You don't have the votes. Do you get them by midnight tomorrow?
Well, I can't read minds and I can't tell fortunes, but I do know that this bill moves us significantly in the right direction and is absolutely essential for the advancement of the Trump policy agenda. I have confidence that our members, when push comes to shove, are going to recognize that.
What gives you that confidence? Because the way I see it, what you wanted change in the bill, you can get, which is a lot more money for lower income older people. But what the Freedom Caucus wants is more debt reduction, which could actually be lowered because of the things that you wanted in the bill. How do you square that? How does the Freedom Caucus come on board?
Well, there's no such thing as a perfect bill. This has many defects that I object to. But when you're bringing a large group together, you're not going to have a perfect bill from the perspective of any single individual or even group of individuals. You're going to have the most acceptable bill that can be passed. It was Benjamin Franklin who told the Constitutional Convention, "I don't like this Constitution. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. And in order for it to pass, each of us has to doubt a little of our own infallibility. And in the end, I hope that the members of the Freedom Caucus will take that advice, doubt a little of their own infallibility, and realize that in the broad scheme of things, this is a major advancement in policy. It will give Americans the beginnings of a highly competitive market where they'll have the widest choice of plans at the lowest possible cost."
Congressman, what I'm hearing, though, is not something that you're going to give the Freedom Caucus. What I'm hearing is do it because it's not the worst option. And then President Trump yesterday saying do it or you're going to lose your seats. Is that kind of strong-arming resonating in the Freedom Caucus?
Well, again, it's not strong-arming. There is a lot that conservatives like in this. I'm a very solid conservative. The National Taxpayer Union rated me the best vote for taxpayers in 2 sessions in a row. So I'll compare my conservative credentials with anyone. But we don't always get everything we want. We get most of what we want, and that's what's in this bill.
What happens to your seat? You're up for re-election next year. You've gotten a lot of pushback in California about this bill. You got 13 million enrolled in Medicaid. 3.5 million was a result of the expansion. 4.6 million were funded under Obamacare. You've seen protests in California. Do you lose your seat?
Oh, no. Some people have done very well under Obamacare. Most people have done very badly in Obamacare. It was the most prominent issue in the last 4 election cycles. The American people are expecting us to fulfill our promises, repeal it, and replace it with a system that works. Ultimately, we're going to be judged not on talking points or promises. We're going to be judged on the individual experience that people have in this new market. They've had, overall, a very bad experience in the Obamacare market. That's why Republicans were elected. We have to be sure that they have a good experience in this new market, and I believe that they will.
But when you make when the uninsured rate in your state is 7.4%, and Governor Jerry Brown is saying that removing Obamacare will be devastating, how can you go back and make your case to constituents and get them to vote for you if you're taking away their insurance and there's not an immediate replacement?
Well, nobody's taking away insurance. Quite the contrary.
But those under expanded Medicaid, right? If you expanded under Medicaid, you could say that they're going to lose their insurance.
No, first of all, those who are on the expanded Medicaid are grandfathered in, and the system is preserved through a system of block grants that will assure the perpetuation of the program in these states. And the administration then shifts to the state. So nobody's going to lose coverage over that. And we have just beefed up the tax credits to assure that nobody gets a sticker shock as the new policies come online. So I think we've done everything we can to assure that this is going to be a functional, competitive market where the vast majority of Americans are going to see a very positive improvement in their choice of plans and in the quality of their health care.
So to be clear, the 4.6 million people who got insurance under Obamacare, they keep it.
On the Medicaid expansion, yes. And on the subsidy side, they will see a tax system supportive of their ability to access basic plans.
Okay, let's talk timeline. Midnight is the vote tomorrow for the House to vote. If it this is what the market's worried about. It doesn't get through, and that throws off tax reform and that throws off infrastructure. Can you walk me through a timeline of what actually happens in Congress if you do not get it passed tomorrow?
Well, essentially what it does is it breaks the momentum that the Trump administration has going into this vote. It calls into question the ability of the Republican conference in the House to get its act together and come to fruition on major legislation. What it does to the timeline of future legislation, I can't foretell, but I do know it would be a very bad thing for our credibility in advancing all of these other issues.
Yeah, the talk out of the administration was August for tax reform. Does that get pushed into 2018?
Well, again, I don't handle the schedule for the House. I do think it seriously complicates everything that the Trump administration is attempting to do, from securing our borders to reviving our economy.